So this year I went to the Pokemon World Championships. These are annual matches to determine the world's best players in Pokemon, both the card game and the video games. When these events started in the 2000s, they were what you'd probably imagine, several dozen kids in a hotel ballroom playing on folding tables, seemingly with only the children's parents and fellow competitors spectating. It's almost comical to look at this footage and see the degree to which the tournament has grown today. In 2025, the preliminary rounds of this tournament were held in the Anaheim Convention Center. The early matches run concurrently to each other and are broadcast on these big screens, so you can pick your seating area based on if you're trying to watch Pokemon Go or the card game or whatever, and you can still see all the other matches happening on neighboring screens around the room. I think the most helpful thing they've done is gotten really energetic sports commentators to accompany every match.
With that fairy zone on the lily.
Oh, he's ready to just give up the game. It's over.
That is history, babe.
I think a lot of people are in the same boat as me, where they love Pokemon, they have played the games, but they're not really familiar with the intensity of metagaming that's happening at these tournaments. And I personally haven't played the card game in years, and I was not good at it when I did. So it's very helpful to have these people on the mic being like, oh no, this is not looking good. With his terrestrialized brute bonnet down for the count, how is he going to take out that Zamazenta?
I don't know if it's Pokemon Arch going to be enough. He goes on the ice beam.
Wow.
He goes for the ice beam. It should be enough to knock out here. Feels the boy. He feels it. He knows it.
So this way, even if elements of the strategy are lost on you, you can always follow the emotional momentum. I hope the company is spoiling these guys, because what a rare asset to find someone who not only has this depth of knowledge about the games, but can also present in an engaging way that casual viewers can understand. The World Championships span 3 days, and the final day is reserved only for the final showdown between the last 2 players in every category. And this year they held these final matches in the large concert venue attached to the convention center, with lasers and fog machines and pyrotechnics. Between matches, they had guys coming out firing t-shirt cannons. It's crazy. This was such a surreal experience for me. I really felt like I was in the Pokemon world, like watching someone battle the Elite Four. Like I'm really sitting in the Pokémon Colosseum. They have 3 age divisions, which roughly shake out to kids, teenagers, and adults. And I was just like, I cannot imagine anything cooler you can do at age 10 than travel the world to play Pokemon in a big stadium with fireworks going off and the big Pikachu mascots handing you your trophy. For the last few years of the championships, they've been doing this new thing where they expand it beyond just the matches to be more of a fan convention experience. So while the early rounds of the tournament are happening, you can choose to watch them all, or you can wander the convention center and look at some exhibits they have set up. Like they had a museum of world championships with memorabilia from all the different years of the event, and art galleries from the official Pokemon artists. My personal favorite was probably the Pokemon card gallery, because it had coloring pages for guests to draw their own cards and put them up on a big wall. There were some that were really well done, some by little kids, which was cute, and a ton that were just trying to be funny, usually through specific references to the event. I don't know, I could have spent forever staring at them. Elsewhere in this hall, they have a bunch of side events where people who didn't qualify for the championships can still participate in matches that are just for fun. And a lot of them have fun novelty rule sets, like matches that are just for the parents of the competitors, the Chaos Cup, where you're given a random team. My personal favorite was the Malamar format. Malamar is the name of a squid Pokemon that you can only evolve in the game by holding your device upside down. So in his honor, the Malamar format requires all of the players to play the whole game with their Switch held upside down. And I just think that's funny. I also feel like the goofier rules feel like a good equalizer, so more casual players can join in. You get points for winning these side events, and even some points just for participating, and then you can use those points at a Chuck E. Cheese-esque prize counter to get things like playmats and plushies. Also in this area, we participated in a fan-organized shiny hunt where like 100 players sat for an entire hour and kept a collective count of how many Pokemon were encountered, and of those, how many were special shiny Pokemon. The hottest ticket at the event was the pop-up Pokemon Center, which was the convention shop. They bring out a lot of merch you can usually only get in the Japanese shops or online, and a lot of exclusive merch themed to that year's championships. They always base the merch off the location of the event, and I was really curious to see how they would interpret a California theme, because we are a state with a lot of stereotypes. I predicted like a Gold Rush cowboy thing or a Hollywood glamour thing, but actually they went for a more general 50s Americana theme. So they have art of the Pokemon driving in a convertible. Machamp has a Letterman jacket, and it has 4 arms because he has 4 arms. And I got these Pokemon milkshake glasses like you would use at a diner. Even the displays in the shop were so cute. They had a record label section with Pokemon puns of famous bands. And my personal favorite was this area where the shelves were themed to look like cars at a drive-in theater. As an American and a Californian, I'm very satisfied with this iconography to rep our state. But personally, my favorite stuff was the general ambiance and fan participation. I guess you could say I felt immersed in Pokemon. Like the second we walked into the hotel, the lobby was already full of people trading cards and gaming together. The hotel themselves were giving out Pokemon-themed key cards, and they had Pokemon signs everywhere welcoming trainers. And fun fact, the hotel I was staying at was the Hilton Anaheim, and this hotel was actually the location of the 3rd ever Pokemon World Championships way back in 2006.
We are at the Pokemon World Championships at the Anaheim Hilton in Anaheim, California. Come on, let's go inside.
I just think it's so cool to think of that with the context that it's now moved into this giant venue right next door. Everybody was so into it. You had infinite players helping you with raids on Pokemon Go. Everybody was turned up in their best Pokemon swag. They're carrying their plushies. A bunch of people were doing amazing cosplays. Oh, cute! Oh my god. That's so nice. Oh my god, thank you. In fact, there were multiple adult cosplayers who shared that it was actually their first time ever cosplaying in their entire lives, which I just found really heartwarming. Some fans also put on an unofficial Pokemon bar trivia night down the street. We decided to go last minute, and I was like, I know Pokemon. It was so hard. I kept begging the MC to ask something about the obscure stage musical Pokemon Live, then I would have had it. Pokemon was just such a huge fandom for me as a kid, and it feels so special to be totally surrounded by it for several days. Pokemon wherever you look, Pokemon in every conversation you overhear, going back to the hotel each night to marathon the Pokemon anime. At the very end of the event, after all the victors have been crowned, they do a closing ceremony where the King of Pokemon comes out and makes all the big Pokemon announcements for the upcoming year, which is so hype because everybody is screaming and cheering. More cards. And while the videos were playing, I kept staring at the king, and I swear he made eye contact with me, you guys. I swear he did. Then when the whole event was over, they dropped a giant Pokemon on the Pokemon Go map directly outside the building, which I thought was an extremely clever way to kick everybody out of the venue without having to use force.
Eternatus will be appearing in the Anaheim area immediately after these ceremonies are concluded.
You don't have to go home, but there's a really big Pokemon out there, I'm just saying. Anyway, that's it. I had a really good time, and best of all, I caught all these Pokemon. Oink, oink, oink.